off that roof. Here comes another one too, a big one, guys, right on over here. Yep, heading right down that little valley. Now, does anybody know how to tell the difference between the male and female turtles? Their tail, absolutely. The longer the tail, if it's longer than its back fins, it's probably a male. If it's got a short, stubby tail, it's definitely going to be a female. And that's a pretty big guy. That guy's probably close to the size of me. I'm going to guess he's anywhere between 80 and 100 years old. And one way to age a turtle, for every foot across the shell widthwise, every foot is approximately 20 years. So you go to widthwise, you kind of judge there. Alrighty, here comes Ken with his first organism. He's got himself a sea cucumber. Now these guys are usually found down in the sand, and you can see it's covered in sand. They don't really look exciting, but they actually are very important for a reef system out here. These guys, they're found in the sand because they filtered the sand for us down there. You guys eat the sand and then they pass the sand out of them after they filter the algae off of it. Keeps the sand clean for us. Like I said, they don't look really important. They don't really look like they're much of anything. But they actually are. And those of you that have been to the Southwest Pacific, they're actually a delicacy over there. People pay good money for these guys to eat them. Turtle down here again, another one. Yeah. He's fairly good size. He's got to be at least 40 to 60 years old. It's pretty good. I know it's tough to tell because we're so far up above him, but he's pretty good size.
Yeah. Ah, there he is.
There's a little one. That's a female now. That one's swimming above him, looking for a place to hide in the reef, I'm sure.
He went down. He
Here
went down.
comes Ken with that sea cucumber to give you guys a view that you get to see him over here on the port side. Yep, that's a turtle with a turtle down there sitting on the floor. Big male, look like. And usually in that part of the reef where you see these turtles too, the reason they hang out in areas like this is there's turtle cleaning stations. Well, these turtle cleaning stations, you may hear of, there's a fish called the wrasse down there, W-R-A-S-S-E, and he's the saddle wrasse I know on your cheat sheet. There's also a cleaner wrasse out there. Now, the cleaner wrasse is real colorful, yellow, purple, a little bit of red in it, with a black tail usually. And these guys will actually eat the algae off the back of the turtle shells. So the turtles come to this part of the reef because they like to be clean, have it cleaned off the back of their necks, off their heads, where they can't reach it with their flippers. You don't let algae off of them, less drag in the water. These wrasses will also clean other fish. Other fish will come to the side of this part of the reef and they'll flare their gills out. These cleaner wrasses will eat the algae off of its reef for them, or off the reef, off of its gill plate. There's a seal down there?
Do you see it, Jimmy?
Yep, there the monk seal is, guys, right below us. There he is. Now you guys, I can tell you, in 5 years, 13 years, see him hanging out, looking at us, checking us out down there. That is a very rare occasion, guys. Some of you can't see him, come on up here, you can see him. Right on over here, guys. Right straight through the window there if you didn't get a chance to see him. Like I said, in the 13 years I've been here, I've only seen 5 of them, so that's number 6 right there. Right on up here, guys, so come on up this way if you need to. Come on up front here. You can still see them up there in the reef. Ken's trying to point them out for you. No, there's not a law against touching these guys, but they're still on the endangered species list. But you wouldn't want to touch them in, and they might get to be aggressive with you. They're usually not. They'll come up and bark at you when I've been in the water with them. They make a big burn at you. But they're not aggressive towards you. I've never had one be aggressive towards me anyways.
Está más clear.
So I have to say, in the 2 years I've worked for this company, that's the first time I've seen one on this boat. The first time. So I'm actually just as happy as you, some of you that got to see them on it. That's actually really cool for me. I like seeing new things on there.
How old would you say that seal was?
You know, that seal age-wise, that I can't tell you. I mean, they live to be approximately 20 years old from what I understand. Just thereabouts. They could live to be a little bit longer, but as far as aging them, that varies so much on what their diet is, whether they're male, whether they're female. And when he gets into that type of stuff, from up here, there's no way for me to tell because you have to be able to look from underneath them to tell where it's a male or female. So.
What has he got? What has he got?
But he was definitely checking us out, so those of you that got to see him, that was really, really a treat. It's something that's never happened in the 2 years I've worked for this company, so. Alrighty, I know everything else is gonna kind of seem pretty boring probably. This guy right here, what he's got, Elliot's in his hand. He's got himself a collector urchin, and he's got himself a tiger cowrie shell. Now the tiger cowrie shells are cool because we usually only find those at night. That's once again one of those nighttime organisms. You guys want to go night diving with me? I can probably point out a couple of them to you. Or at least different types of cowrie shells. And if you watch this tiger cowrie shell, if you look right down the center of it, you can see the little split. What happens is it's got a snail-like organism in it. When he passes by the windows over here, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But where that little split is, the organism will come out and it'll surround that shell with himself. And that's how you know there's something living in there because it's so clean. If you found it and there was nothing living in it, it'd be very dirty. And then you'd have to take it home and you can clean it up. But it's very clean, so you know there's an organism living in there. And what happens is at night you can touch these guys and then they suck back into their shells and that leaves a mucus layer, or even during the day when they decide to do it on their own. Leaves a little bit of a mucus layer on the shell. Well, that mucus layer gets real crusty and it solidifies and it makes the shell grow. And the shell actually grows with the organism that lives inside there. It's one of the few shells that does this, but it does.
You see it, Frank?
And here Ken's got himself a spiky sea urchin, black spiny sea urchin, and he's got himself a velvet star as well.
Is that a fishing down there?
Yeah.
That black velvet, there's that velvet star I was talking about earlier. See the nice purple, beautiful purple color in it? If you were to look at that laying on the bottom of the ocean over here, you would not see that velvet color in it. It would look almost black to us. Now that black sea urchin is very spiky. If you happen to find one of these guys, you might hear a local use the term vana. That's what they're called in Hawaii, vana. But if you happen to accidentally walk on top of one of them with no shoes on, you set your hand down on one, you're definitely going to know it. Because you're going to have a handful or a footful of these spines. They're toxic. Not toxic enough to send you to the hospital, but they're toxic enough to really irritate you. They'll bother you for maybe a week, maybe a couple days. So you got a couple of things you can do, 4 things you can do if you get stuck by one of these. The number one thing you probably heard about already is you can urinate in that area. The ammonia in there will actually kill the poison or toxin or help knock it down. You can take some bleach, which I think is the most effective way, and soak your hand, your extremity, on your leg with a little bit of bleach and just
When are we
soak it
going to
real
see
good.
some sharks?
I know it really dries out your skin, but it'll also kill the venom in there and it'll help dissolve that real quick. Yep, straight bleach. You can take some vinegar, some vinegar on there that'll also help knock out the toxin in there. You can also take a needle and dig them out. If you do not, you might have a piece of that in your skin for up to 4 to 5 months before it finally pushes its way out. You would think something like that would have a natural enemy, however it does. It's lobsters. Lobsters love these guys, just like people who eat sushi. Lobsters will take these guys and flip them over with Ken's holding it on their soft underbelly, and they'll eat them from that side.
What's that one again with the yellow bits?
Now this collector urchin that Elliot showed you in his left hand, I don't really spoke much about, they're not real fussy what they collect. They'll collect shells,